Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet an international speaker and business coach who helps companies attract and retain the best and the brightest. Her incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, as I often say on this show, I have a thank God it's Monday company. We hire for attitude and we teach skill. And so many companies in this country, they're struggling right now. They bring in maybe somebody who just graduated from college. They don't have the right culture, and suddenly they're looking for a new employee. And that can take so much time and so much money. Somebody who simplifies the process is my next guest, Betsy Allen-Manning. She's the owner and CEO of Destination Workplace. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jeff.
Absolutely. Well, your bio goes on for miles, and so I want to maybe condense it for us. I mean, how did you get started in this?
It was years ago. I always wanted to be a motivational speaker, listened to Tony Robbins, and I said, that's what I want to do. And it morphed from there to starting to ask the workforce what's actually needed out there. And that morphed into leadership development, and then where it's at now with becoming a destination workplace.
And you're so brilliant. You're a very accomplished speaker. I've had the pleasure of watching some of your TED Talks, and let's show her sizzle reel.
People don't necessarily want to follow a perfect leader, but man, they do want to follow a good leader.
No one leaves bad companies. They leave bad leaders. 85% of organizations feel that their current leaders are not strong enough to fill vital leadership roles within their company. You have to be the type of leader that people feel is worth following.
Let me hear somebody say, oh yeah. There's only one thing right now that's standing between you and the life that you were born to live, and that's commitment.
How many of you have ever had someone believe in you more than you believed in yourself? It's because they're what I call impact leaders.
Paycheck leaders focus on developing themselves so that they can become successful. Impact leaders focus on developing the success in others, and they become significant.
Now, I cannot even begin to tell you how much value our group just got.
I saw people today taking notes that never take notes.
I cannot believe the energy and the content.
And she literally changed their lives in a little over an hour.
You're getting out of your shell. You're stretching yourself here. When I say burn it, you say live it. Burn it,
burn it. Your skills, your habits, your position or title is not what makes you a great leader. Your character does.
I dare every single one of you to stop working for the paycheck and start leading like you were born to make a difference.
You're so high energy, and she was sharing with me right before we started taping that she actually has to tone it down sometimes.
Even now, having to tone it down. Yes, I have CEOs that watch my TED Talk, and they'll say, that was great. We love your high energy. And I say, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, that was around a 5. So what can your audience actually handle?
That's right. But if you're speaking to a bunch of engineers, you might need to mute
tone it
down just a
down.
little bit.
Yes.
And that's what makes you so popular. You're also an expert in human behavior. Let's talk about that. What does that mean?
So understanding personality styles, I use DISC, the model of human behavior, and understanding and teaching leaders how to understand the different personality styles so that they can communicate, connect, influence, and resolve conflict with people who are different from them.
And the workplace is changing. I think you would agree. I grew up during the days of it's my way or the highway. You'll do it because I said so. And that doesn't play very well with the Gen Zs, does it?
No, well, the Gen Zs or younger millennials, even a lot of the older millennials and Gen X, it's not playing well with. People I find that have left the workforce for two reasons. The great resignation. You'll find a lot of boomers and some Gen X are retiring early because they don't want to have to deal with the upcoming generation and learn how to coach them and work with them. But then we have the great renovation. And people have decided, I don't want a lifestyle that puts me into a state of burnout and in high stress situations. And so they now are wanting to work for a workplace that can provide a better experience for them.
And that makes so much difference to the bottom line. I read a study that says just the recruiting, hiring, training, once you lose an employee, it could be half a year's salary up to a year and a half salary, depending on their skill level. So it makes so much sense to bring in somebody like you.
Yes, turnover rates can cost up to 33% of an annual salary. And especially if someone is skilled in a specific craft or in a leadership role, it can cost even more.
Yes. We're going to pull up her website because it's a beautifully done website. I want you to talk about the kinds of audiences you love to speak to and the kinds of clients you like to coach.
Sure. Best audience is someone, usually the C-suite executives, people in a leadership role or aspiring leadership role that care about their company, care about their people, and want to provide a better workplace. And they're the ones that can see that there are challenges today in the workplace and we need to do something about it. And they're willing to actually invest in their company and in their people to make that change.
I'm so impressed with you because as I was preparing for the show, you're on the news all the time. You're the person that they go to when they need advice. We found a recent clip from NBC5. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Welcome to Texas Today. I'm Kristen Dickerson. It can be difficult to prioritize our mental and emotional well-being while trying to meet the demands of everyday life. That's why it's important to reset and recharge. Here to help us reset and recharge is motivational speaker Betsy Allen-Manning. And I must say, we look so good in this color today.
You got the memo.
So good. Okay, let's talk about reset and recharge. Why is this topic so important to you?
Well, Kristen, I'm sure you understand and you agree that we're living in a day and age where people are operating out of burnout, overwhelm, and uncertainty, and this is pushing us into higher states of stress.
Okay.
And why this is important, because as long as you're operating from that place of stress, you cannot operate from that place of purpose.
Oh my goodness,
And
yeah.
I'll tell you, that word purpose, it just has such a meaning for me. It's part of our company's mission. People don't necessarily want to follow a perfect leader, but man, they do want to follow a good leader. How many of you have ever had someone believe in you more than you believed in yourself? It's because they're what I call impact leaders. Your skills, your habits, your position or title is not what makes you a great leader. Your character does. I dare every single one of you to stop working for the paycheck and start leading like you were born to make a difference. We help companies become a destination workplace to attract and retain top talent. And the number one way that we do this is by helping them build a purpose-driven culture that people don't want to leave. Now imagine taking that purpose-driven culture into your home life and teaching this to your entire family. And now your family wakes up every single day with less stress, less burnout, and they have a sense of purpose.
Absolutely outstanding. So what are some bad habits that can cause stress and take us away from that purpose?
So we all have those bad habits. I say we have habits that can contribute to our well-being. We also have habits that can contaminate our well-being.
Yes.
And so it's important to be aware of them. The number one habit that can cause us more stress, we're all guilty of it, Kristen, is procrastination.
Really?
Every single one of us are guilty of it from time to time. And human behavior shows that we procrastinate due to a lack of motivation to get something done. So I don't want to clean the room or the house today. I don't want to do this task at work today. But when we don't do it, what happens? It builds up, piles on top of each other, and then we become burnt out, overwhelmed, and stressed out.
Wow, one of the things I loved about that segment is you got into some of the things that you coach applies to somebody's personal life. Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I think leadership always overspills into your personal life as well. So when we talk about in the workplace creating core values in your mission, why not have a family mission? Why not have family core values? And then anytime someone does something wrong, just in the workplace when you're coaching people, when you're coaching your kids, that's an opportunity to bring in that mission, the family core values, and say this isn't aligning with what we say our values are as a family. So like we get them back on track and we coach them according to the values and the mission.
And one of the things that we see all the time in corporate America is somebody was the head of sales and they were doing well, and so they get promoted and suddenly they're the CEO. But having the skills to run a sales team and then run a Fortune 500 company are completely different. So how do you work with the CEO to deal with issues that he or she might be having?
Yeah, well, it's funny that you say that because we talk about the 5 types of leaders in the workplace. You have the dictator, which we all have worked for at one point or another, that rule on fear and punishment that usually creates a hostile environment. We have the paycheck leader who only works for the paycheck, nothing more than that. We have the promoted leader, which is what you just mentioned, the one that you get promoted because you're the best at your job, but you're not necessarily the one that understands how to coach others to be the best at their jobs. This is where when we work with CEOs, we specifically want to come in. We want to coach your executive team, we want to coach your middle leaders, and we want to coach your emerging leaders as well. So there's leadership alignment throughout the entire company. When you have culture alignment, leadership alignment, you have growth alignment, team alignment, well-being alignment. Now you have a company that people say, I absolutely love it here and I want to work there.
And often leaders have blind spots. So bringing in somebody like you to have an objective, I mean, you're just coming in for the first time. I bet you can read a company pretty quickly, can't you?
Well, what's interesting is so we have a destination workplace assessment. We usually ask the first step to take them through that assessment, and then we sit down with the executive leadership team. We'll walk them through the results. Normally what the C-suite executive leaders think that their challenges are within their teams and in the workplace, we actually show them the difference, and their perception is not the same as their reality. So the assessment really helps show them, here's where your biggest challenges are and your problems are. Here's what we can do to help you fix it.
Wow. Betsy, I can see why you're so successful. She's also a prolific book writer. We're going to pull up her book page, and you've got 3 books and another one on the way. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes, Destination Workplace. We just conducted a national study, so we wanted a lot to back up our entire framework, and not only that, but we're also conducting interviews with companies who are destination workplaces, and we want to know, what are you doing differently? Because our job is to help do the research, find what's working well, and share it with companies so they can start implementing these strategies as well. So Destination Workplace, that book will come out 2025, first quarter.
Outstanding. Okay, so how does a company know when they need to bring you in to either speak at their annual conference or to coach their leadership team?
Yeah, so 2 different things. If you're looking with us to help consult with you and becoming a destination workplace yourself, first things is if you're having trouble attracting and retaining talent, especially some of your key strategic people, your key leaders within the company, you're losing them, you're finding higher levels of conflict, low morale, a lot of low trust within the teams as well, low collaboration, little engagement. That is a key time to reach out to us, engage with us, and let's just have a conversation.
Sure.
So we partner with you to help make it a success. We find what works best for you. We have a lot of workshops that we love, especially within leadership development, workforce development to help. For conferences, let's get on the phone together. That is another thing I love to do. That's my sweet spot, I say.
Nice.
And I love to come in and work with leaders and show them how they can become a better workplace and a better leader.
And one of the things that comes to mind is in the last couple of years, we've seen so many strikes. As we're doing this taping, Boeing is out on strike. And so I don't pretend to know what was going on inside of Boeing, but there's a trust issue. There's a communications issue. Seems like people could hire you almost proactively before they have a strike.
So it's interesting. So Fast Company actually did a study and found that there was one company that they had highlighted and showed that trust alone had caused them, when they were implementing a new initiative, has caused them to miss their deadline by 89 weeks due to a lack of trust amongst team and amongst the leadership. So trust and productivity go hand in hand.
Okay, you coach people for a living. Let me ask you, what are your strengths?
So my strengths would be, my husband joined my company this year, so we work well together because we are completely different personalities, styles. We see things differently, which makes our company that much better to be able to see different sides of things. So my strength is coming in. I bring high energy, especially to the keynotes that I'm giving. I'm usually an opening keynote or closing keynote to bring the high energy to the event. But I also feel I'm able to go into any company and I can tell you right away in each department what type of leader you have within your company in each department.
Wow.
Just by looking at the way their team dynamics are, the way that their interaction with each other, their interaction with the leadership as well.
Wow, what a gift. Okay, in the minute we have left, final thoughts. What do you want to leave people with?
For you, if you truly care about your people, you want to be part of the change that this world needs right now in creating better workplaces, give us a call and let's talk about how we can help you become a destination workplace, which is a workplace that has a positive and quality brand reputation in the marketplace and attracts and retains the best talent by creating positive employee experiences and makes you stand out as the employer of choice.
Outstanding. What a great show. I could listen to you all afternoon. We're going to end with the website, which is, of course, her name, BetsyAllen-Manning.com, the great Betsy Allen-Manning. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.